Your eyes are lying to you. They show you a world that looks the same. The sun is shining, the buildings are standing, the sky is blue. But it's a lie. It's a perfect, beautiful, lethal illusion. The world you knew is gone. It was erased in a flash of silent, impossible light. Now, the silence is the loudest thing you've ever heard. It's a silence thick with the taste of copper and burnt ozone in the back of your throat. An invisible sniper has its sights on every cell in your body. And the safe place you're running to? It might just be a pre-dug grave. You've been told to hide. You've been told to wait. That's half the story. And the half you're missing is the part that gets you killed. You must fight an enemy you cannot see, taste, or touch. I'm not here to sell you hope. Hope is a luxury. I am here to give you the cold, brutal physics, the hard biology, and the desperate math that separates a survivor from a statistic. Pay attention. Your life depends on it. The invisible war. Know your enemy. You cannot fight what you don't understand. Radiation is not a single entity. It's a team of specialized assassins, each with a different weapon, and they are all riding on the wind. First is the brute, the alpha particle. This is a heavy, angry particle, but it's clumsy. It's a cannonball that's easily stopped. It can't even get through a single sheet of paper. It can't penetrate the dead outer layer of your own skin. It's harmless until you make one critical mistake. You breathe it in, or you swallow it. Once inside your body, with no skin to protect your soft tissues, it becomes a bulldozer. It doesn't just damage cells, it obliterates them, shredding your lung tissue, your stomach lining, your DNA. It is the ultimate internal killer. Next is the rogue, the beta particle. This is a high-speed electron. It's smaller, faster, and meaner. It laughs at paper. It will blast through your clothing and burn through your skin, causing vicious, blistering radiation burns. Think of it as a million microscopic needles. It takes a thick wooden plank, a sheet of aluminum, or a wall to stop this one. It's an external and internal threat. But the real monster, the one you build your entire new life around avoiding, is the ghost, the gamma ray. This isn't even a particle. It is pure high-frequency energy, a wave of invisible force. It doesn't just hit you, it passes through you. It passes through your walls, your car, your entire illusion of safety. And as it travels, it slams into your atoms, shattering chromosomes and creating chaos in its wake. Gamma rays are the snipers, and they can hit you from a mile away. You need feet of packed earth, thick concrete, or solid lead to even slow them down. And how do these three killers get to your doorstep? They hitch a ride. They cling to the dust and ash created by the blast. This is Fallout. It's not a mystical green glow. It's a fine, gritty, tangible powder. It settles on rooftops, coats the streets, and mixes with the water. The world itself has been weaponized against you. Your primary job is not just to avoid the radiation. It is to avoid the dust that carries it. The Triad of survival: time, distance, and shielding. Your survival is not luck. It is a calculation. You must become a master of the three pillars of nuclear defense: time, distance, and shielding. Forget everything else for a moment. This is the core. First, time. Radiation is not permanent. It is a fire that burns itself out. Radioactive fallout decays. It gets weaker every single second. This decay is exponential, and it is your single greatest ally. The 7-10 rule is a rough guide. For every 7-fold increase in time, the radiation intensity drops by 10. After 48 hours, the external gamma threat from fallout can drop by as much as 99%. This is your window. Your job is to simply not be available for those first 2 most lethal days. You are buying time. You are waiting for the world to become slightly less deadly. Second, distance. Radiation follows the inverse square law. It's simple, brutal physics. Double your distance from a radioactive source and you cut your exposure by a factor of 4. Triple the distance, you cut it by a factor of 9. This is why a top-floor apartment is a death sentence. You are sleeping inches away from the fallout piled on the roof. This is also why a basement is gold. You've put the maximum possible distance between yourself and the contaminated ground and roof. Every foot you can put between your body and a particle of fallout is a geometric victory. Third, shielding. This is your fortress. You need mass. You need to put as many atoms as possible between you and the gamma rays. We are not talking about drywall. Drywall is paper. We are talking about density. The effectiveness of a shield is measured in half-value layers, the thickness needed to cut the radiation dose in half. For gamma, that's thick concrete. It's solid lead. It's packed earth. A basement is the ultimate shield because the planet is your shield. You have feet of dense dirt in almost every direction. Stuck on a middle floor? You don't hide by the window. You move to the absolute center of the building, the core. Surrounded by other apartments, by hallways, by as much stuff as possible. You can build your own. Pile books, furniture, jugs of water, bags of dirt against the walls. You are literally building a wall of atoms to absorb the energy that is trying to kill you. Building the Bastion, the Airtight protocol. You have your shielded location, you've maximized your distance, now you must win the war against the air itself. Your enemy is the dust. The alpha and beta particles riding on every breeze. You must make your shelter airtight. You are now the commander of a submarine, and a single leak is catastrophic. Every crack, every vent, every keyhole, every gap under the door. This is where your roll of duct tape and plastic sheeting becomes more valuable than diamonds. You are systematically sealing the outside world out. Tape the windows, tape the door seams, shove wet towels or blankets into the large gaps. You are stopping convection. You are preventing the poisoned air from circulating into your clean space. If possible, you must establish a transition zone. This is a buffer area, an airlock. It could be a mudroom, a garage, or just the hallway outside your sealed room. This is the area where the outside world ends and your safe zone begins. No one and nothing crosses that threshold without following protocol. You don't go outside to check the wind. You don't crack a window for fresh air. The air is not fresh. It is a lethal soup of particles. You stay inside. You breathe your own stale air. And you wait for the clock and the physics of decay to do their work. If someone must enter from outside, they decontaminate in that buffer zone. They never, ever bring the outside in. Engineering life, the alchemy of purity. You will get thirsty. The human body is a slave to water, but every water source you knew is now suspect. Rainwater? It has actively washed the fallout from the sky. It is a radioactive cocktail. Rivers and lakes? They are the drainage basins for all that contaminated rain. Tap water? The reservoirs are open, the pipes may be broken, but you have a solution, and it is beautiful. Simple physics. Distillation. Radiation itself, the energy, cannot make water radioactive. The danger is the contaminants, the radioactive particles, the dust, the salts dissolved in the water. These particles are heavy. They do not evaporate. Pure H2O, however, does. So you perform an ancient magic. You find a large pot. You fill it with the tainted water. You place a smaller, clean cup inside. It can float, or you can rest it on a stable, clean rock. This is your collection vessel. You then cover the large pot with its lid, but you flip it upside down so the handle points down directly over your cup. Then you heat it. You build a fire, you use a stove, it doesn't matter. The water boils. Pure steam rises, leaving the heavy, deadly particles behind. The steam hits the cooler, inverted lid, condenses back into liquid, and drips, drop by purified drop, into your cup. You have just performed alchemy. You have separated life from death. Do not trust filters, even high-end ones, unless they are specifically rated for radionuclide removal, like some advanced reverse osmosis systems. A simple Brita filter will do nothing. Now, food. This is simpler. Your greatest ally is the tin can. Canned food is the king of the apocalypse. The food inside is perfectly safe. The metal and the hermetic seal have provided a perfect shield. Let's bust the myth. Radiation does not spoil food or make it radioactive. It is not a contagion. The danger is the fallout dust on the outside of the can. The ritual is simple. You must meticulously wipe down every can, every sealed Mylar bag, every sealed jar before you open it. Use a damp cloth. Do it in your transition zone. Discard the cloth. Then and only then you can open it. Fresh food is a massive gamble. Root vegetables, potatoes, carrots are your safest bet, as the earth itself has shielded them. You must peel them deeply, discarding the contaminated skin. Then wash the inside. Fruits on trees, the skin is contaminated. Peel it, discard it. Animals? This is a hard no. Animals, especially high on the food chain, concentrate radiation. It's called biomagnification. They drink the water, they eat the contaminated grass, the radiation builds up in their organs, their bones. Eating a deer or a rabbit is like eating a compressed brick of poison. Stick to the cans. Calories are calories, and right now, safety is everything. The Hazmat Gambit. Venturing into the gray. The day will come. Your water is low, your food is gone, you must leave the shelter. You are now an astronaut stepping onto a hostile planet. You must create your own atmosphere. You must build a suit. This is your disposable skin. The goal is to cover every single inch of your body. Long sleeves, long pants, tuck your pants into your socks and your sleeves into your gloves. Now grab the duct tape. You are sealing every junction. You are creating an unbroken, airtight seal at your wrists, your ankles, your neck. You are making it impossible for a single particle of dust to find its way to your skin. Your lungs are the gateway for the most deadly internal killer, the alpha particle. You must protect them. A full-face respirator with P100 cartridges is a godsend. An N95 mask is your next best. A simple surgical mask, a bandana, a t-shirt, anything is better than nothing, and it must be worn wet. The moisture is your particle trap. It's the flypaper for the dust. Goggles are not optional. Your eyes are a wet mucous membrane, a perfect entry point. Swim goggles, safety glasses, anything that seals. Finally, the outer shell. This is your sacrificial layer. A cheap plastic rain poncho. A large trash bag you've cut holes in. This plastic shield is designed to take the brunt of the contamination. It will be covered in radioactive dust. As you move, be smart. The wind is not your friend. It is the invisible river of death. Move upstream. Watch the ground. Fallout doesn't settle evenly. It drifts like snow. It collects in gutters, in doorways, against walls. These hotspots are reservoirs of intense radiation. You give them a wide berth. But the single most important part of this entire journey is the return. The decontamination ritual. This is what keeps you alive. You do this in your airlock, your transition zone. First, you gently mist or wipe down your plastic outer layer. You are trying to remove the loose dust before you take it off. Then you slowly, carefully remove the poncho, folding it in on itself. Contain the poison. It goes into a bag and it stays in the buffer zone. Next, your gloves. You peel them off, turning them inside out so the contaminated surface is trapped. Next, your boots. Your outer clothes. Everything stays in the buffer zone. Finally, your mask and goggles. You do this last. You are now stripped down. You still do not enter your clean zone. You wipe down any exposed skin, your face, your neck, with a wet cloth. You are physically removing the microscopic killers. Only then, naked and clean, do you step across the threshold into your sanctuary. This ritual is not paranoia. It is non-negotiable. It is the law. Sensing the unseen, how to see a ghost. But how do you know? How do you map this invisible minefield? A Geiger counter is the dream. A simple, crackling device that translates the invisible into sound. But you probably don't have one. So you learn to use the sensors you were born with. First, your eyes. You are retraining them. You are no longer looking for danger, you are looking for dust. Fallout is not a mystical force. It is a physical, visible, fine grayish-white powder. It looks like ash or fine silt. You see it settled on car roofs, on windowsills, in quiet corners where the wind has piled it up. That is a visual confirmation of a lethal hotspot. That is a red flag. You do not touch it, you do not disturb it, you do not breathe near it. Second, your ears, or rather, the lack of sound. You listen for the absence of life. No insects buzzing, no birds chirping, a dead, profound silence. If the natural world has gone quiet, it is a primal warning. Animals are your early warning system. They live in the dust. They drink the water. If they are sick, if they are dying, you are next. And finally, the sensor you never ever want to use. Your own body. If within hours or even minutes of being outside you feel a sudden sick wave of nausea, if you begin to vomit uncontrollably, if you have sudden explosive diarrhea, this is not the flu. This is not food poisoning. This is the prodromal stage of acute radiation sickness, or ARS. It is your body's initial screaming reaction to a massive, potentially lethal dose of gamma radiation. After this initial sickness, you might, paradoxically, feel better. This is the latent stage. You are a dead man walking. The radiation is silently murdering your bone marrow, your immune system, your digestive tract. After this latent period comes the manifest illness stage, and it is hell on earth. There is no cure in this new world. There is no hospital. Knowing this is a grim, final calculation. It tells you your time is limited. It tells you if you need to push on, or if you need to find shelter, hunker down, and pray your body is 1 in a million that can repair this catastrophic cellular apocalypse. The long haul. The marathon against the atom. Surviving the first 2 weeks. That was the sprint. Now begins the marathon. You have survived the acute blast. You have survived the fallout. Now you must survive the chronic threat. Radiation is a slow killer too. It's the ghost that haunts you for decades, causing cancers, leukemia, organ failure, sterility. So you fight this ghost every single day. If you are lucky, incredibly lucky, you might find potassium iodide tablets, Ki. These are not a cure-all. They are not an anti-radiation pill. They have one job: to protect one organ, your thyroid. Your thyroid gland is an iodine sponge. It needs it to function, and it is stupid. It cannot tell the difference between safe, stable iodine and the radioactive iodine-131 that is a major component of fallout. By taking Ki, you are flooding your thyroid with the good stuff. You are filling up the sponge so there is no room left for the poison to get in. It is a critical, specific victory. Next, you become a hunter of antioxidants. Radiation's primary damage mechanism is creating free radicals in your cells, tiny hyperreactive molecules that tear through your DNA like microscopic bullets. Antioxidants, vitamin C, vitamin E, beta-carotene are your cellular repair crew. They neutralize these free radicals. Find supplements, scavenge for berries, nuts, any protected vegetation. Prioritize this, and you must maintain obsessive hygiene. This is not for comfort, this is for survival. Your clothes, your skin, your shelter, they are constantly collecting low levels of dust. This is a chronic dose, a low-level radiation source you are living with 24/7. Wash your clothes when you can. Wash your body. Keep your shelter clean. Every particle you remove is one less bullet aimed at your future. And finally, do not do this alone. Radiation is a solo killer, but survival is a team sport. Find other survivors, pool knowledge, share supplies. The psychological toll of this new world, the isolation, the fear, the crushing silence is as deadly as the radiation. You must maintain a routine. You must find a purpose. Morale is a resource, as finite and as precious as water or food. You must protect it, in yourself and in others. The final equation, you are the anomaly. None of this is magic. Do not let anyone tell you it is. It is all physics. Shielding works because mass, dirt, concrete, water, physically absorbs runaway energy. It is a numbers game. Distillation works because of the fundamental phase change properties of water. Decontamination works because you are physically removing the tiny particulate assassins from your environment. There are no guarantees. You can do everything right. You can build the perfect shelter, distill the purest water, seal your suit perfectly, and still lose. You can lose to a single unlucky breath, a single misstep, a single particle. Radiation is a game of probability, and the dice are loaded against you. But doing nothing is a 100% certainty of death. It is giving up. It is accepting the status of statistic. Knowledge is the only armor you truly possess. It is the only weapon that has any meaning. The world ended. The rules are gone. But you are still here. That makes you an anomaly. That makes you responsible. You are not a victim waiting for the end. You are a scientist in the most hostile experiment imaginable. You are a fortress of logic against a world of chaos. You are a survivor. And as long as you are breathing, you have one and only one job: adapt, calculate, and stay alive. The rules have changed, but the game isn't over. Tell me the one survival fact you've always believed. Let's see if it holds up to the physics.